Hi besties, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today, as the title suggests, I'm reanalyzing Rise Donnie. So as you can probably see around the time this is going to be posted, my former analysis is gone. Basically, hadn't done nearly as much research on him as I should have, and I had thought he had some emotional detachment disorder. Obviously, Ron Corsillo, who is a writer, I believe, or someone really involved in Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, pretty much confirmed that Donnie is actually autistic. So the comments quickly rolled in to correct me, and I noticed just how absolutely negative my video seemed. And to anyone who's hurt or felt the representation was being erased, I apologize. Thus, I've deleted the original, and I've decided to roll with a much more organized and educated analysis. So now for my usual disclaimer, I'm not a licensed professional, so do not use my analyses to diagnose yourself or others. My videos are solely based on research and should not be taken as canon. However, in this specific case, Donnie's autism is canon. Trigger warnings for discussion on mental health and an overall look into trauma. I will be speaking on neglect, so if that bothers you at all or it triggers you, I would not recommend seeing this video. I have plenty others that may not trigger you, so feel free to look at those or feel free to watch something completely different. So yeah, view at your own discretion. Thank you, and on to the video. So as usual, I'm dividing this video into three main parts. 1. Donnie's behavioral patterns, why these may exist. 2. What some of these patterns stem from. And 3. How he may be affected emotionally or mentally. So let's take a look into how our purple dude acts. Immediately, there's that emotional distance that I think anyone who's seen Rise will notice in him. He seems to be sort of nonchalant about most things, or neutral-ish. He doesn't like standard forms of affection, and prefers to be in his lab sort of doing his thing. Obviously, that's not to say he's always like that. He still shows affection towards his brothers, and has excitement for what he's most interested in. This behavior is a trait commonly found in autism called alexithymia. And alexithymia causes one to process or show emotions differently than others. For Donnie, this means that this neutrality he expresses is his normal. He's not being cold, these are his genuine responses. He finds it harder to sort out what emotions he, as well as those around him, feel. And that's essentially why you see him responding to things with little enthusiasm, or he just responds differently. Now, on that topic of enthusiasm and reactions, Donnie heavily fixates on his tech, and it's essentially his hobby and his way of stress relief. It's common for autistic individuals to develop a really specific area of interest at a young age and focus on it for a long time. This rings true with Donnie, who's got a lot of finished tech projects and more upcoming ones as well, and it's clear that he's intensely studied and worked with tech for years. Another thing I found quite interesting is how he always shows off his tech. Whenever he finishes something, he parades it around. There's nothing wrong with that, obviously, but it seems more than just showing his brother something he's worked hard on. I guess his wording when he displays his inventions is what gets me to think that.
And I really hope you like it, because if you don't, I will just be crushed. Donnie.
This really screams to me that he lacks validation, and it's like he's comparing his tech experience to his personal value. Almost like if he's not good with tech, then he feels like he's useless. So let's go a little deeper here to the roots. I like the way this source put these, and I've just highlighted what I think applies to Donnie there. Essentially, I think Donnie struggles with his self-worth, and he seeks validation because he never received it growing up. Throughout a significant chunk of Season 1, Splinter doesn't seem to really be emotionally available to the boys. Now, in this next clip I'm going to be showing, pay close attention to how the boys act.
What if I hooked it up so that you could watch in bed, huh? Wouldn't that be even lazier?
I remember watching this the first time and feeling so horrible for the turtles because it's so clear that this is normal to them. You know, this is what their household is like. Splinter's, kind of dismissive and whatever about everything, doesn't seem to pay them any mind, really. To hit things home here even more, that was from Season 1, Episode 1, which was a pilot episode. And the thing with pilot episodes is they often tend to familiarize the audience to their characters, showing the stronger sides of what they're like before delving into who they are in their development. So I doubt that Splinter's laziness was just a last minute, yeah, let's just do this type thing. They meant to introduce him specifically that way so we could understand the family's dynamic from the very beginning. So how does this all fit into Donnie's behavior? I believe Splinter's actions can be classified as neglect. This means for a significant period of Donnie's life, he didn't receive a lot of the emotional validation he needed. As the source I've listed here shows, emotional neglect can look like not having enough interaction with someone, getting overlooked, or not having what you believe important acknowledged. It can make someone feel like they can't open up or struggle with their confidence. Thus, in Donnie's case, he seeks validation in order to be heard and acknowledged. He wants to be sure that he's doing a great job, and he wants to know that he's appreciated. And I can already sniff out the comments from a mile away. But Touche, this is Donnie. This is ROTTMNT Donnie. This is egotistical Donnie. This is Donnie who's always proud of himself. Fake it till you make it. Or maybe it just hasn't hit him yet how much he actually craves validation from others. So let's sum up the points here. 1. Donnie's autism and alexithymia play roles in some of his behavior. 2. Donnie's validation seeking stems from past emotional neglect. And 3. Donnie experiences self-esteem issues and feels a need for acknowledgement. Here are just my sources. Thanks so much for the continued support of my channel and for watching this video. As always, leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section and feel free to correct me on any inaccuracies you may find. Slay all day or night, wherever you may be. You rock. See you all in the next one. Mwah.